state police are requesting up to 5,000 law enforcement officials from the Mid-Atlantic region. Virginia is a part of that area, so it is possible some local officers could be heading up there as early as today. Meantime, school in Baltimore canceled today, and a curfew for the city goes into effect tonight. Of course, we will be checking in with local law enforcement this morning to see if any of our officers will be going there to help, and we will keep you updated on everything surrounding the Baltimore riots. Morgan?
Okay, thank you, Sydney. Meanwhile, today, the Supreme Court will hear arguments in cases that could make same-sex marriage legal all across the country. Of course, same-sex marriage has been legal here in the Commonwealth for about 6 months now. The Virginia Court of Appeals decision to allow same-sex marriage in the state opened the floodgates for those couples to tie the knot. Today, U.S. Supreme Court justices will focus on two parts of the ongoing dispute. One, whether states should be allowed to continue defining marriage as being between a man and a woman. And two, whether gay marriages from states like Virginia must be recognized everywhere, even in states that don't allow same-sex marriage.
In Chesterfield County, parents are coming together to try to combat overcrowding in classrooms there. With schools like Watkins Elementary and Chalkley Middle School 20% above functional capacity, the group Friends of Green Spring is pushing for a relief school to be built as soon as 2018. The district has plans for a new building in 2022, but parents say the problem can't wait because packed classrooms are creating safety hazards and put learning in jeopardy. That coalition will hold its meeting to outline the proposal tonight at 7. It's happening at the Midlothian Library, and anyone can attend. In Richmond tonight, the public school system will hold its State of the Schools address there. It's at 6 p.m. in the Claude G. Perkins Living and Learning Center that's on VUU's campus. That event is also open to the public if you'd like to attend. Tim?
All right, good morning, everybody. We do have a traffic alert for you on I-95 northbound near Maury. Let's send you outside, put on a map, show you where that's located. A tractor-trailer accident versus vehicle has the right lane closed there. Now seeing delays building to 2 to 3 miles. We'll send you out the camera near Maury. You see the right lane is closed there. Traffic is merging down into just the center and left lanes, and these delays stretch all the way back to Bells Road, a little bit further south on I-95, which will come up here in just a second. You see some of those delays building on the northbound side, upwards of 2 to 3 miles. So plan for some extra time if you're headed out and about in that area this morning. Otherwise, looking around the area, I-95 at 7th Street, a much easier going commute there with north and southbound traffic zipping along okay with no major issues. We'll get a check here now, sending us over to I-64 at Broad and Glenside, east and westbound, picking up on the volume there, but also no major issues to report. And one other stop on a camera here. We'll take you over to I-95 again at the Boulevard, north and southbound, also okay this morning. That's the latest on your roadways. Now, Matt, beautiful sunny start, but chilly. Will temperatures warm up today?
Slowly they will, Tim. Yeah, 46 degrees out there, mainly sunny skies. We're looking at a sunny commute out there, 49 degrees at 8 o'clock. We'll be around 63 at the lunch hour. We'll top out today in the upper 60s, but keep in mind the breeze will be up 10 to 15 out of the northwest. That's going to mix that pollen up. It gives a little bit of a chill to the air, but nothing so bad. 73 tomorrow, early sunshine fading behind clouds. We'll call partly sunny in the second half of the day. Clouds thicken up on Thursday with rain developing. That rain could continue into Friday. And again, the amount of rain in question right now based on this overall setup, but look for more clouds and wet weather than anything else. Great news by the weekend, though. The sunshine makes a return. As you see, 73 and 75. Like to say congratulations to our winner of the morning for our $500 gift card.
Yay, Patricia!
Yes.
From Richmond. Awesome.
Very cool. And we're going to do it all again tomorrow morning.
We sure are, because we guarantee a winner every weekday morning. So keep watching. You'll win.
And like seeing those 80s on the
backside of the 8-day forecast. It's coming,
good.
Folks. I know it's been a long time waiting.
That's pool weather, Matt.
Well, except the pool water feels chilly.
Well, the pools are going to be open in 2.5, 3 weeks here.
Is that insane?
Woo, it's going to be chilly. We'll see you back in 25 minutes.
Have a good morning.
Dr. Phil, Beverly Hills housewife Kim Richards.
You are drunk fighting with a cop. This is meltdown. You need help.
Is this an intervention? I'm sorry, I can't.
Today at 4 on WRIC TV8.
Hi, I'm Joel Bieber. If you've been hurt, call the name you know. Hi, I'm Joel Bieber. Hi, I'm Joel Bieber. If you're hurt, we're available 24 hours a day. Hi, I'm Joel Bieber. Some folks ask, Joel, can't you do a more formal commercial? For over 20 years, I've been saying, we come to you, and we still come to you.
Call the Joel Bieber firm or go to joelbieber.com.
Call Joel Bieber.
Okay, ready? Here we go.
Oh, goodness, no. Why mess with such a majestic mane?
Well, haircuts are expensive.
Well, if you're looking to save, try shopping for groceries where the weekly specials are always priced low.
Good point.
Oh, and Brenda, I'd stick to clipping coupons. At least there's a dotted line to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just my 2 cents.
Saving money made sensible. Food Lion.
Make it a beautiful day and get it started the right way.
Join Good Morning Richmond to set the course.
What's a better way to get your day going than with $500? Watch every weekday. We guarantee a winner.
Along with the best way to get your day started.
Right here with Good Morning Richmond.
Weather that's ready when you are. Only 8 News brings you more weather in the morning.
Good morning, America. Breaking overnight, Baltimore erupts. A state of emergency declared, the National Guard ready to deploy as the city explodes in violence.
This is lawless gangs of thugs roaming the streets.
A pharmacy and nursing home burned to the ground. Residents ordered to stay indoors. The skies lit up with flames. Businesses and police cars looted as rioters clashed with police. More than a dozen officers injured. A major American city under siege.
New video this morning of that devastating earthquake. Terrified people running for their lives. Buildings crumbling to the ground. The desperate search for survivors and the rescue on Mount Everest as helicopters attempt to reach climbers trapped on the world's tallest mountain.
Close call. An SUV speeding past a school bus, just inches from running over 3 kids about to board. Their horrified mother looks on, and the search for the driver is on right now.
And stranded at sea, miraculous stories of survival as our reporter jumps in shark-infested waters, finding out what it takes to survive and how you can use the clothing off your back to make it out alive as we kick off GMA Survival Week.
From ABC News, with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Lara Spencer, live in Times Square. This is Good Morning America.
And Good Morning America, let's get straight to that breaking news. Baltimore in chaos. Rioters turned that city into a burning war zone overnight. National Guard now being put in place. This is the scene just moments ago. It looks a bit calmer right now, but it was a wild scene yesterday. You see it right there. Police now calling in to enforce a citywide curfew. That's going to be in place all week long, and schools are closed today.
Yeah, and as we look at some of these incredible images from the violence overnight, police cars set on fire, firefighters battling this blaze at a nursing home which was under construction, police reporting criminals through cinder blocks at fire engines as they responded to the calls, rioters taunting police officers, and then we have a look right here at the scene at the Orioles game, which was postponed by all the violence.
They just could not take the chance. We have team coverage this morning. ABC's Jim Atlas starts us off in Baltimore. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, George. Authorities are fighting back this morning. The National Guard is already on some streets today, opening them up for safe travel again, and relieving some of those tired police officers who have been staffing barricades all night long. This morning, the smell of smoke still wafts over Baltimore as firefighters battle fire after fire, 7 in all overnight.
Overnight, the Baltimore skies lit up with flames. A huge blaze, intentionally set, suspect fire officials, as part of the day-long riot that injured 15 police officers, including this wounded cop, rushed into an armored car for hospital transport. Nearly 30 arrests for violence and resistance. This man carried away by a team of riot police. Rampant looting breaking out in broad daylight, causing the mayor to impose a curfew beginning today. Everyone inside after 10 p.m.
If you are on the streets, it will be for 2 reasons, medical emergency or you're going to work. That's it.
The mayor reacting to violence like this. This pharmacy, first looted, then set on fire, one of Baltimore's signature streets. As firefighters battle the blaze, this rioter is seen on live TV slashing the hose. Police cars danced upon, damaged, and even set ablaze. A $16 million Baptist nursing home, which took 8 years to build, burnt to the ground. Columns of police clashing with rock-throwing protesters, the governor labeled the rioters criminals, declared a state of emergency, bringing in 5,000 National Guard to be deployed today.
This is lawless gangs of thugs roaming the streets, causing damage to property and injuring innocent people, and we're not going to tolerate that.
Baltimore school kids are being kept home today. All schools closed. Police ring important buildings. Lots of museums closed here as well as the city tries to get back to normal. Amy?
All right, Jim Avila with the latest from Baltimore. And all of this violence erupting after peaceful demonstrations over the death of Freddie Gray in police custody, who was laid to rest on Monday. His family has been calling for calm, and ABC's Steve Osunsami has that side of the story.
Freddie Gray's family says this is wrong. With their tears still fresh from his funeral, they were clear in their grief. He would have never wanted to see the city he loved burn.
I think the violence is wrong, and Freddie Gray wasn't no person for violence.
Gray's mother and father and his twin sister begged the thieves and young criminals to stop. From the same church where just hours earlier they said a painful goodbye to their 25-year-old son in a service attended by thousands. Their calls for peace were lost in the Baltimore winds. A little more than an hour later, they were added in the streets.
We had a beautiful homegoing service, and to see that it turned into all this violence and destructions, I am really appalled.
Baltimore's leaders, many of them African-American, demanding peace, but not getting it.
Is that this is our city, that we have to live here.
We will have order, and we will have peace.
This is the image they want more Americans to see. A black mother pulling her teenage son from the crowd of street thugs after spotting the young man on live TV.
Thanks to Steve for that one. I'm bringing our senior justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, right now. And Pierre, we know now the National Guard coming into place, hoping for calm today. But there has been some criticism of Baltimore officials for not calling out the police and force fast enough.
Yes, good morning, George. There will be some Monday morning quarterbacking on whether they had enough officers out on patrol given Freddie Gray's funeral yesterday. Tensions were going to be high despite the calls for peace. Did the police move quickly enough to stop those stores from being looted? But they were clearly in a difficult position once people started throwing rocks and bricks. It was a dicey situation, George.
And this city has been facing some chronic problems.
George, thugs and misguided young people have hijacked what were largely peaceful protests, and there were some powerful forces at work. Baltimore's poverty rate is nearly double the national average, and it has chronic severe drug and crime issues that lead to violence. Between 2010 and 2013, the city had nearly 900 murders. Some of those years, roughly half those homicides did not get solved. And you throw in the fact that the police department has had a difficult relationship with the black community in that town, paying out millions due to allegations of misconduct and excessive force, and right now it's a witch's brew. Given what we're seeing, there's going to be tremendous pressure on the president and his new attorney general to engage publicly on this issue. Baltimore is only 40 miles from the nation's capital.
That's right. So far, they're calling it a local issue, but you're exactly right. The AG briefed the president yesterday. Pierre Thomas, thanks very much.
All right, George, and we move now to the crisis in Nepal, the desperate effort right now to save people who may be trapped after that devastating earthquake. The death toll has now topped 4,000. Those climbers stranded on Mount Everest have now been rescued, and ABC's Terry Moran is in Nepal with the very latest. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Amy. Scientists now say that quake moved the Earth here 10 feet. This was a three-story temple that came down in this town outside of Kathmandu. People here still living in fear from the aftershocks and from that moment of terror. This morning, the sheer force of the quake captured on this new cell phone video from China's Tibet region just as it struck. People terrified, grabbing children and running for their lives. Watch as massive amounts of dirt and rubble come pouring in. The death toll from Saturday's huge 7.8 earthquake has now surpassed 4,000. Much of this country's ancient heritage in ruins. And rescue teams still searching for survivors. This morning, miraculously, this man pulled from the rubble in Nepal 62 hours after being trapped. On Mount Everest, a harrowing rescue effort. Helicopters making loops between camps, bringing down nearly all who needed rescue.
People are trapped up above the ice fall. The job of these 3 pilots is to extract as many of them as they can. in the time they've got.
Scores injured, 18 bodies, including 4 Americans. Take a look at base camp before and now, after 4,000 feet of snow came crashing down, a scene of destruction.
There is still so much work to be done here. Many of the more remote areas where the devastation was the worst have still not yet been reached by search and rescue teams. George?
So much more work to do. Okay, Terry, thanks very much. We're going to turn now to a possible attack on a U.S. Army base near Tokyo. Police are investigating after a pair of launchers and a projectile were found following reports of explosions in the same area. And this comes as President Obama is set to host Japan's prime minister at a state dinner tonight. ABC's Martha Raddatz has the latest from Washington. Good morning.